Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? And give them their much deserved praise for their hot start to the season. We're like a third of the way into the season. We're almost halfway into the season now, and the Cleveland Cavaliers have been one of the surprising teams in the NBA. But I didn't really see anybody giving them their just due, right? So I made the Cavaliers just happen to be the hottest topic in the NBA. So I go from giving them their just due as being one of the surprising teams in the NBA to now apparently LeBron James want to go back to Cleveland. How is that possible? Do I move the needle that much? Do I move the needle that much? Someone let me know, right? Or I just happen to have foresight. I just happen to be a visionary, right? Look, Kendrick Perkins was running his mouth earlier today on Twitter, and I wanted to talk about this today, but I really wanted to get on that clown Stephen A. Smith, right? But Kendrick Perkins ran his mouth on Twitter about LeBron wanting to go back to Cleveland. Now, how is that possible, right? Because nobody was looking at Cleveland, right? What's up, Trey? Nobody was looking at Cleveland. I made a video about the Cleveland Cavaliers, and all of a sudden now there's reports about LeBron James wanting to go back to Cleveland. He want to end his career in Cleveland? Now, how would Kendrick Perkins get that kind of information, right? Because I know he's on the payroll, right? The way he be frothing off at the mouth and doing backflips like he's some goddamn acrobat about LeBron James and all that, right? How would he get that kind of information? Unless him and Richard Jefferson, the walking incarnation, Mr. Planners and all that, is putting that out in the atmosphere about LeBron wanting to go back to Cleveland. Now, of course, LeBron ain't gonna say no shit like that right now because that'll be in violation. He will be in violation. He'll be subjected to fines for talking about players that's on other teams or talking about going to other teams while under contract with Lakers. He'll be fined for that. So why? So LeBron James ain't that dumb to put that out there, to put that out in the atmosphere, right? No, I know you ain't heard nothing about that. It's Kendrick Perkins going on Twitter spouting that nonsense, right? That's why I say he was on Twitter spouting that shit. What's up, Mark Wonderlick? Right. But LeBron ain't dumb enough to come out there and say that, I want to go back to Cleveland Cavaliers. I really miss my home. He's not going to say no shit like that, right? And I really, truth be told, I don't think Cleveland wants him back. For what? They might welcome him back for a one-off and all that, but they're not trying to go down that road again. But then again, I can never put nothing past Dan Gilbert because when it comes to an owner, there's two things they like: money and winning. And LeBron James, say what you want about him, he brings both of those components, even though it might not be showing this year with the Lakers. But this the thing. The Cleveland Cavaliers have a nice, young, talented roster. They are not about to gut that roster for LeBron James, okay? They are not about to do that. Not when you already got money committed to Jared Allen. You already got money committed. You're going to commit money to Darius Garland, right? Evan Mobley has been a beast, right? One of my picks for Rookie of the Year, right? Right. It was LeBron that said he was either LA or New York. It was. Yeah, look, they got a good thing going on. They don't want to be distracted by news of LeBron possibly going back to Cleveland, all right? That's Kendrick Perkins and people on the Clutch payroll talking shit. Now, do I think LeBron James go back to Cleveland? No, I do not think he goes back to Cleveland. Right? I don't think he's going to go there, and I don't think the Cavaliers organization is going to gut their roster for LeBron. They're not going to do that. All right? So this is where critical thinking comes in, everybody. Right? Now, I don't agree with LeBron James going back to Cleveland. It's not going to happen. Now, Rich Paul already came out and said that's not going to happen despite the rumors and all that. But I don't see that happening. Kendrick Perkins is full of cap. He's on some other shit right now. He going if that was the case, then why LeBron left Cleveland in the first place? If he was going to retire with the Cavaliers, why did he leave in the first place? He had everything he wanted there. Dan Gilbert was going to do anything LeBron James wanted. If he wanted to coach fired, coach is gone. If a player needed to be traded, guess what? That motherfucker gone too, right? He had everything he wanted in Cleveland. If he wanted to stay in Cleveland, if he wanted to retire in Cleveland, he should have stayed in Cleveland. What's up, K-Town? Hey, James in the building. What's up, homie? So, do I think LeBron James leave the Lakers for Cleveland? No. That's why I stand on that. I don't think LeBron James leave the Lakers for Cleveland. No. If he was going to retire from Cleveland, he should have stayed there. What's up, Eric Johnson? Salute, bro. But I found it funny that I put out that video yesterday morning talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers, and all of a sudden now, the Cleveland Cavaliers is hottest talk on social media and in NBA circles. Do I hold that much clout? Please tell me. Go ahead and say yeah. Go ahead and say yeah. I do hold that much clout. Do I move the needle around this bitch? You got that right. I move the needle around this bitch. Little old me, LB, right? Look, all I am is a 20-year retired Navy vet. That's all I am, okay? I can't have that much clout, right? I can't move the needle that much, right? Yeah, because Kendrick Perkins ain't no more than a goddamn LeBron James cheerleader. That's all he is. That's all he is. He ain't not more than a goddamn LeBron James cheerleader, right? Now he goes around here and talks shit about all these other guys or whatever like that. Now meanwhile, Kendrick Perkins puts up and all of a sudden now, oh man, it's gospel. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it's not. But I can see Kendrick Perkins going out there doing LeBron James dirty work, right? Because LeBron James handlers all over the media. Whether it be him, it'll be Richard Jefferson, it'll be Shannon Sharp, Toucan Sam Nick, right? Colin Cowherd, right? All them jackasses, right? All them motherfuckers be on TV, put on his cape for him. I just don't understand, right? The only guys out here that be running around here, running their mouth, capping for LeBron and all that shit, right? Let me ask y'all something. So the guy is big. I just don't understand how motherfuckers don't see this. So you mean to tell me that LeBron James have a hand in picking the roster? Him and AD themselves said they had a hand on picking the roster, right? So they had a hand on picking the roster. They bring these guys in, right? They bring these guys in. These guys underperform, and then they be the same guys that say, oh, well, LeBron James ain't got no help. What do you mean he ain't got no help? The motherfucker picked the goddamn roster. Everybody that's on that team right now is because of him. So don't tell me he ain't got no help. That's what he wanted. Look, you make the bed, you gotta lay in it, right? If that bed got stains from orgasms and all that, well, guess what? That's what you made. That's the bed you made, right? You gotta lay in that shit. You gotta lay in that shit, right? So he got a hand on picking the roster. If this team were to perform the way they're supposed to, they'll be touting his ass about MVP. Don't believe me? All right. Let's go back to all them years when he was with Cleveland and they were making the NBA Finals, right? And he had a hand in picking his team there too. Cleveland Cavaliers winning 50, 60, damn near 70 games and all that, right? Were they saying Kevin Love was the MVP? No. Were they saying Kyrie Irving was the MVP? No. Were they saying, oh man, the coaching of what was the name of that coach that got fired with the best record in the Eastern Conference? David Blatt. But they're saying, oh man, David Blatt expertise. I mean, a guy that came from overseas over here. I mean, the guy won championships over there. So if he won championships in a tougher league overseas, you would think he would come to the NBA and really make a statement, right? I mean, look at their record because of David Blatt. Were they saying that? No. They're talking about LeBron James being the best player in the NBA, and he's the GOAT. He's the MVP. Cut and dry, no questions asked. Carry on. That's what they were saying. That's what they were saying. Even the year that they won the championship in the bubble, right? Even the year they won championships in the bubble, right? What happened that infamous year? Kobe Bryant passed away from that horrific helicopter crash, right? Who was the first person that was running her mouth, right? When she was at when the whole talk of MVP came up. You guessed it, Rachel Nichols. So when she went out here talking shit about a fellow black woman colleague, right? A fellow colleague who just happened to be a black woman, that Maria Taylor, yeah, when she wasn't running her mouth about that, and she wasn't, spewing out her racism and all that, she was out there talking about LeBron James being the MVP. And her justification about LeBron James being the MVP was, well, Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash, and that's what, it would make a unique story about LeBron James, carrying the Lakers to the championship and all that. It's just a whole bunch of nonsensical gibberish that was coming out her mouth. So, now mind you, the Lakers, my policy is about MVP. The best player on the best team is the MVP. Period. Right? But somehow, the Lakers were not the best team. LeBron James was the best player, but he was not on the best team. So how of a sudden now this guy was going to be an MVP? All right. Then, even last year, even as late as last year, you had motherfuckers talk about LeBron James being the MVP. Oh, well, look at the makeup of the team. And, the team would be nothing without LeBron. But he had a hand on picking them. So you can't have a hand on picking the team, then run around here campaigning to be a goddamn MVP. And then when he didn't win the MVP that year, what was he saying? Well, I need to reduce my circle. I need to reduce my circle because all the other guys, all them guys weren't voting for me, like Brian Windhorst or goddamn Chris Broussard and all them other ass clowns that be circling around media like a bunch of vultures and all that. Well, Brian Windhorst ain't circling around like a whole bunch of vultures. First of all, he ain't got that kind of stamina. All right. And second, I think Brian Windhorst was circle around a buffet table more than anything else. Nevertheless, to answer your question, right? It would be Chris Paul. Now, no one's touting Chris Paul to be an MVP, right? But the other person in that equation is Stephen Curry. Why I say Stephen Curry? Because Stephen Curry is putting up the numbers, right? And speaking of Stephen Curry, I don't like what they're doing right now with him. I don't like that whole notion what they're doing, that putting that man business out there with Aisha and all that. Now, earlier this year, they was talking about goddamn Dale Curry and his wife. Now they're putting Stephen Curry and Aisha Curry's business out there, putting out that report. See, that's some divide and conquer shit. I don't like that shit. So that's why I intentionally did not talk about that. I intentionally did not talk about that particular article with Stephen Curry and his wife because that was distasteful what they put out there. That was distasteful and that was disgusting. And I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. That type of shit right there would ruin marriages. So I intentionally did not talk about that, but nevertheless, Stephen Curry putting up the numbers. So with Golden State being the number 2 team in the West right now behind the Phoenix Suns, and Stephen Curry's putting up the numbers, then they're gonna by default give Stephen Curry the MVP, right? Now, Chris Paul ain't putting up sexy numbers, right? But he has impact. He has had impact. And I believe Chris Paul should be the MVP just off the strength of him, because if you think about it, the Phoenix Suns wasn't shit before he got there. They were nothing. They barely could muster 30 wins without Chris Paul. As soon as Chris Paul get there, now this team making the playoffs, going to the finals, all that shit. So Chris Paul definitely should be an MVP. Because I always say the best player on the best team is the MVP. Not this person averaged a triple-double, but this team here is like number 6 in the West, like the Denver Nuggets, right? They gave that MVP to Jokic that last year, and I thought that was some bullshit. And then what happened? They get swept in the second round. God dang on Denver Nuggets, man. They're a bunch of frauds, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a video about that later. I'm gonna do a video about that soon, because we at the halfway point in the season. I'm gonna talk about the biggest surprises, like the Cleveland Cavaliers, something like that, and then we can talk about the biggest disappointments, and then we can go to the biggest contenders and the biggest frauds. And I'm gonna give y'all a spoiler alert: the Denver Nuggets are one of the biggest frauds in the NBA. Okay, they're one of the biggest frauds. And Mike Malone, I've said this for years now. I don't know why the Denver Nuggets won't do it, but they need to fire his ass. All right. Period. But back to the main topic, right? The Cleveland Cavaliers ain't going nowhere. All right. They're not going anywhere. This team is going to be a threat in the East, provided they stay healthy. This team is going to be a force to reckon with. They got the size on the interior, right? They got a guard in Darius Garland that can make plays. What's up, Wilts? Right? And I'll go out on a limb and say this, right? I might get some flack for that, but losing Colin Sexton was a blessing in disguise for this team. He was them losing Colin Sexton was an addition by subtraction. And, I really don't want to be going around here talking about how motherfuckers get hurt and shit. It was unfortunate that they lost Colin Sexton for the season and all that. But it turned out to be a blessing in disguise for this team. Right? Because there were reports out about Colin Sexton being a ball hog. Right? That he really don't look to get other players involved and stuff like that. Right? So that's why when him going down to that injury, it was an addition by subtraction, right? And now look at them. Right now, they got COVID outbreak right now, right? They got to contend with the Covidius Maximus or whatever. But oh, what's up? Hey, JMJ, what's going on, man? Long time no see. And they have a big interior, right? You got marketing, right? Marketing coming over from the Bulls, Kevin Love, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. I mean, there's some big dudes down there. Right? So not only they got flexibility, they got depth. This team plays together. They got good veterans like what's up 3000 degrees? Ricky Rubio, right? Rubio's a really good player, right? Who else? There was one more person I wanted to talk about. But yeah, JB Bickerstaff got them going in the right direction. If they continue this path, Evan Mobley will win Rookie of the Year, JB Bickerstaff win Coach of the Year, and you gotta love the makeup of this team, man. They go out there, they don't fuck around with people. They go out there and take care of business, right? And if you bet the Cleveland Cavaliers, you've been making a lot of money because they've been covering all they got dang on. They've been covering all their games and all that. Kevin Love's been doing good. He's battling injury. They're playing him limited minutes and stuff like that. Probably like the low to mid 20s and all that. But yeah, he's still going out there producing and all, right? So you gotta love how the Cavaliers is holding up. Now, what's up, Yusuf Knight? Now, once again, do I think LeBron James go to Cleveland? No, I do not think he goes to Cleveland, right? And they already came out and shut down that notion and all that. So, but just because Rich Paul came out and shut down the notion, don't mean that this topic ain't gonna continue festering throughout the season. Because as much as I say no, this not gonna happen and all this shit, this topic is going to continue to fester throughout the entire season, especially if Cleveland end up making the playoffs. If Cleveland makes the playoffs and they get a high seed, then you can rest assured that this is not going to go away. There's going to be mounting pressure for LeBron James to leave the Lakers to go to Cleveland. Now, I need LeBron to stand on his square, right, and right the ship. This is what he wanted. He got the control. You don't just get to say, well, it didn't work out, and I really do miss home. No. Figure it out. You made this the position you took. Figure it out. All the greats have done it. Kobe Bryant's done it. Michael Jordan's done it. Giannis Antetokounmpo's done it. Right? You don't get to make the team, and then you get to lead the team and all that shit, and then leave your former team in shambles while you out here chasing championships and all that. No, that's I can't rock with that. I cannot rock with that, and I don't want nobody be on no Cap-A-Lot records on that shit neither. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You don't get to leave and join new teams just because you see them doing good. Nah, ain't going down like that. But I gotta get up out of here, y'all. Salute to everybody. I see Mr. Winters in the building and whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? Good to see y'all. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. Shouts out to the LGBC. It's your boy, Scream Man.